Hello everybody, and welcome to the August 20th Tropical Update. We have some serious action going on in the tropics right now. Currently we have Hurricane Grace situated over the Bay of Campeche with maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour and a central pressure of 975 millibars moving west at 10 miles per hour. And then we have Tropical Storm Henri, which is near hurricane strength with a maximum sustained winds of 70 miles per hour with the minimum central pressure of 994 millibars moving north-northwest at 6 miles per hour. Currently, we have hurricane warnings posted for the southern Mexican Gulf Coast, from Veracruz to Tampico, and tropical storm warnings a little bit north of that. And as you can see, the cone has it making landfall between Tampico and Veracruz, Mexico, Friday night. So tonight, Grace is going to make landfall. And the models are all in agreement now that Grace is going to be making landfall on the south central Mexican Gulf Coast, and when literally all the spaghetti models are in perfect agreement that Grace is going to make landfall between Tuxpan de Rodriguez Cano and Martinez de la Torre, Mexico. So now I'll be showing you wind shear and why I believe that Hurricane Grace and Tropical Storm Henri could both undergo rapid intensification over the next 12 to 24 hours. So what you're looking at here is the wind shear and wind shear tendency map. And for wind shear is bad for tropical storms and hurricanes because it blows the storms away from the center. But anywhere where there's 20 knots of shear in the green, 20 knots of shear or lower in the green and the blues, is where upper level winds are favorable for tropical storm strengthening. And Hurricane Grace and Tropical Storm Henri, especially Tropical Storm Henri, are in favorable locations, favorable areas for strengthening. And I'm particularly worried about Henri when it comes to rapid intensification because there is literally no wind shear inhibiting Henri from rapidly intensifying. So even though the National Hurricane Center only strengthens it to a 90 mile per hour Category 1, I believe that Henri could explode to a Category 3 hurricane in the next couple of days as it moves off the Virginia, North Carolina coast, and eventually as it hits New England, I believe it's going to weaken to a Category 2 or Category 1 hurricane, as it likely hits the somewhere either in Connecticut, Rhode Island, moves through Boston, and then curves out toward Nova Scotia. So more importantly, here are the spaghetti models for Henri, and as you can see, nearly all of them take Henri into New England, with a good amount of models even curving Henri westward to hit New York City and hits Long Island. many of the models have it going through Bridgeport and Hartford, Connecticut, and going through Boston on Sunday, on Sunday evening. And like I said, the cone has it hitting as a 70-mile-per-hour tropical storm, but I believe that Henri's going to hit as a strong Category 1, strong Category 2 hurricane because of the rapid intensification that I believe is going to happen once it moves into this general area. Off the Carolina and Virginia coast is when I believe that Henri is going to rapidly intensify into a strong Cat 2, probably a Cat 3, maybe even a Cat 4 is not out of the question. So if you guys are in New England, you really, really want to pay attention to Henri, especially if you're anywhere between New York City and Boston, and even up towards Portland and Bangor, Maine, and Halifax, Nova Scotia. You want to keep a really close eye on Henri because it could be a very serious storm with very serious impacts. Now, finally, I'm going to show you guys the satellite imagery. And what you're looking at here is the infrared satellite. This one is Grace in the southern Gulf and Bay of Campeche, and Grace is looking very healthy on infrared, and the cone has it making landfall as a Category 2 hurricane with the winds of 105 miles per hour. And I actually agree with the Hurricane Center, although rapid intensification is possible with Grace as well, and I wouldn't rule out a Cat 3 landfall. Meanwhile, Henri, you will have a very, very solid looking core, thunderstorm core, with anything you see in the blacks and the whites are extremely tall thunderstorm clouds, and the center is up here, so the center is protected from dry air and wind shear. And like you saw on the wind shear map, there's almost no wind shear at all around Henri to inhibit strengthening. And finally, I'm going to show you the water vapor imagery to show you the dry air, see if dry air could be an issue. And no, dry air will not be an issue with either storm because in both storms the center is closed off from dry air, and especially with Henri, all the white areas indicate very moist mid-level air. So I am extremely concerned about Henri because it is moving into an environment where rapid intensification is not only possible, but very likely. So, like I said, you guys in the Northeast pay very close attention to Tropical Storm Henri because it's likely going to become a strong hurricane, and you're going to be seeing a lot of impacts. So thanks for watching my tropical update, and you guys have a wonderful afternoon.